All right, hello. We are live and streaming. Here we go. I am Waldo,
I'm modular.
and we are gonna argue about the news and junk right now. You want to start on the news?
Sure. I
Okay.
haven't been following it, so
Oh man, you are in for a treat. Uh, First of all, Garland named special counsel to lead Trump-related probes. DOJ's
nice,
coming after him.
solid. And I know that Trump did announce his candidacy again.
He did. They were waiting for everybody was waiting for these midterms to
Yep.
go over, um, for two reasons. One, if the DOJ, if they do it beforehand, before the uh, midterms, they could be
Accused
insinuated.
of influencing the
Yeah,
election like they did with the Hillary
yeah,
probe.
they could get
Yeah.
challenge. They could get accused of that. So they waited until it was over, and Donald Trump waited until it was over too, because he didn't want. I don't know why he did that, but um, they've got a So they're coming after him for two things. If I want to say it's right over here. This is the guy. Look how serious this man is. That is a serious man.
He does not look happy.
He does not joke around. Well, you know what his job was? He was a prosecutor at The Hague for like Bosnian war crimes.
Wow.
He is not a man to goof around. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he's been no. Where is it? I was talking about what that guy, what he uh, a war crimes prosecutor at the International Criminal Court. The Hague will be engaged in two main areas of investigation. One is to look into whether any person, including Mr. Trump, unlawfully interfered with the transfer of presidential power following the 2020 election. So that's like Jan 6. Or the certification of the Electoral College vote on January 6th. Yeah. The other focuses on Mr. Trump's removal of hundreds of documents from the White House, which were transferred to his home, Mar-a-Lago. So that's the documents.
Okay.
So that guy is looking into those two things. And I think he's a serious and important guy. Like, I don't think that he's political, or else he wouldn't have the job that he has. And he probably doesn't screw around. I bet this might get ugly. And then he doesn't have the that Mueller loophole. It's not really the Mueller loophole. It's more like the Nixon loophole. That the Justice Department can't uh, prosecute a sitting president, which is what they decided during Nixon, that he can only be impeached and he can't be charged with a crime by the Justice Department. So that's what Mueller did. He said, hey, here's all the evidence. If you guys want to impeach him, impeach Trump about the Russia thing, you could. But they didn't. But this
Right.
guy doesn't have to worry about that loophole because Donald
Because
Trump
he's
is
not
not
sitting.
the
Yeah.
president, you know? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a thing that's happening. What do you think?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I obviously I'm on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my preference is not Trump at the moment. It's
Mm-hmm.
DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute
uh,
too. Yeah.
I would actually really rather that Trump not run in 2024 because I have a feeling that what's gonna end up happening, and you predicted this. We lost two of our discussions to audio issues.
I know. I'm a
Um, and
doofus.
and you predicted this, but I mean, it's also my expectation is
Mm-hmm.
that Trump runs. There is a primary. DeSantis is involved, and if Trump loses the primary, then he ends up running as an independent and pulling a oh, what's his name? You forgot last
Ross
time.
Perot.
Now I'm forgetting. Ross Perot,
Yeah,
pulling a Ross Perot
pulls
and
a Ross Perot.
and splitting the vote, um, which I think will be very unfortunate. Um, it'll result in another 8 years of Democrat control, and yeah, that's just where I'm at though.
Yeah, I
Is
think. Well, honestly, and not to uh, downplay my own argument on my side, but I thought that's what was going to happen in 2015. Um,
Yeah, that was something I was concerned about as well back then.
yeah,
But
I really thought this
I was
split was going
fully
to
on
happen
board
then.
the Trump train at the
Hmm.
time. And now he's just sort of made himself unelectable, which I mean, I don't have a problem with the guy, but he he just can't elect him. Like if he's the candidate, then he's gonna lose. That's the problem.
I
So,
think he might win the primary. I mean, okay, 2015, that first big debate, they had 19 Republicans on stage, uh,
yep,
and they were all talking, and then there was a question about accepting the results or running as a third party or something like that. And Trump was the only one that was like, "Yeah, I won't accept it, and I will run as a third party." That's what I thought was going to happen, and
right.
I thought that was some sort of Machiavellian scheme of his to get himself vice president. And I think they should have made him the vice president. You know what the vice president does? Fuck all nothing.
Yeah,
They just talk, which is what he loves to do anyway. But he can't play second fiddle. He can't play second banana. The DeSantis slash Trump ticket would win, I think. But he won't do that. He's too much of an egomaniac. He won't play second. He won't be vice president. Um, so that leaves us with what? Trump slash DeSantis, and I don't think DeSantis wants that either. And
no,
I think that would actually lose.
I think that DeSantis probably wouldn't be his vice president anyway. He's seen how. I mean, Trump has not treated the people around him very well.
I know, yeah.
Um, he treated Mike Pence very badly
Hmm.
when Pence went in and certified the election for Biden.
Hmm.
Um, just I think he burns too many bridges. I think DeSantis probably sees that and wouldn't work for him anyway.
Hmm.
So
And if they're not willing to work together, they're going to have to work separately, and that's going to tear the whole thing apart.
yeah, the next few years is not going to be fun for Republicans. I think
Yeah,
um, party will probably be torn apart. There'll be a pretty major shift,
because I think
and
most of the people, most of the primary vote, I mean primary voters, anyways, who I'm talking about, like primary voters want him, want Trump.
yeah, some of them do. I don't.
I know.
Um, yeah, it's gonna fucking suck. I'm definitely sort of a little more withdrawn from politics as a result of that.
Hmm.
I used to be very much on board, pushing. You've seen me in the debate channels and
Hmm.
whatnot, and I'm a lot less active. I'm much more concerned about ideas now rather than actual politics because I know that the politics are gonna fucking blow for the next few years.
I got you.
And
Okay.
I'm really tired of trying to. I mean, Trump is a guy that I think got a lot of flack from the media that was not deserved.
Hmm.
But there was a lot that was,
Okay.
and there was enough that was there that was very annoying to try to defend that I don't really care to do so anymore.
Okay.
I mean, we talked about some of the sillier things, like injecting bleach
Yeah.
and whatnot. That was like, okay, come on, like this was a bit of a smear campaign. But on the other hand, there was enough there that was also just you know dumb stuff that was actually true. I'm
Right.
just tired of him.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't
we've had
want to
enough. Yeah.
do it anymore. Yeah.
Um, he has called the investigation a horrendous abuse of power and the latest in a long series of witch hunts and weaponizing the Department of Justice. I think he's wrong that this isn't a well, actually, I think he's right. The Justice Department is weaponized against him because he is a criminal. I mean, that's kind of a true thing. the Justice Department should be weaponized against criminals, and I think he is one. Um,
That's fine.
but what have we got here? We've got Republicans are starting, now that they have the House, 42 Biden administration officials they want to testify. They're just going to investigate Biden all day, every day. This right here is an unjust weaponization. This right here.
Of the House.
Yes, the House is just going to investigate Biden all day, every day. They're not going to do anything for the people. They're not going to pass any bills. They're not going to do anything other than investigate Hunter Biden and his laptop.
Oh, is that what the
Oh,
testifying is
it's
about?
coming. It's yeah. Well, that and a few other things. Anything they don't like. Let's see what they need testimony on issues including border security, school board threats, and claims of bias within the FBI and Justice Department.
Hmm.
That's what they're investigating. School board threats. That's
The fuck is that?
that is when those goobers go to those Q-tards go to school boards and scream about um, kitty litter boxes and critical race theory without knowing what any of that means, and then they get either shut down or the police show up,
Hmm.
or they get asked to leave. Um, it's just not a Jim Jordan. Fuck that guy. It's just nothing. They're just gonna create nothing all day, every day. They're not gonna do any government work. They're not gonna try to push Republican policy as if there were any. The only Republican policy that exists anymore is culture war nonsense.
I wouldn't say I agree with that. But at the same time, they don't get a lot done when they're in charge anyway. But you could say the same for Democrats anyway.
I know.
So,
Well, Democrats don't get anything done because they're wieners, and they can't even get all of their senators to vote for a damn thing. Um, uh, Speaking of senators voting for a damn thing, here we go.
I mean,
Uh,
Republican policies have not been codified, really. Um, they get into office. Trump got into office, and he actually did manage to accomplish a certain number of his campaign promises, but they weren't by uh, passing any laws. They weren't done by um, actually setting policy in stone through legislation.
mhm.
He wanted to bring down thing like excuse me, illegal immigration was a big topic that he ran on,
Mhm.
and he did manage to bring illegal immigration way down. But he didn't do that by passing legislation about illegal immigration. He did it through messaging,
Mhm.
and then uh, in terms of normal immigration, that came way down as well because Stephen Miller managed to fuck up the immigration website a
Mhm.
bunch. Like that's how they managed to do that.
And
And it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I think you're right. They make it hard to do, and then they make the messaging bad. Like, I mean, kids in cages. Whether it's, I think there's some truth to there, but I think kids in cages is a bit of an exaggeration. But um, the family separation policy, if that's the policy, and the people trying to cross the border know that, they might not cross the border. Uh, so yeah,
right.
I think you're right. That's a messaging thing.